TJ Marshal, and I guess I'll stand up here, it's a little easier. And I drove all the way over from Miami Beach, Florida. I'm based out of there, so I'm looking forward to the rum drink there. But I do outreach for the Ocean Conservancy, and I work hand in hand with Captain Novak and with Libby, and I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's personally important to me, which is marine debris and ocean pollution. It was very interesting for me to watch the video here, and they were talking about Mr. Massara and the Surfrider Foundation, because that's where I came up through, the Surfrider Foundation. I'm a surfer, I'm a transatlantic sailor, I like to spearfish, I like to actually get in the resource and enjoy it. And through all those, I've experienced all the issues with plastics and garbage and all of these things in the water. And I've done my efforts with cleaning it up, and I've reached my frustration points of why am I always cleaning up after others? And I just wanted to follow this along with our organization's theme of it's about a sea change. And I see the change in me through what I've experienced, and I think that's where our organization is going with our marine debris and pollution cleanups and what we call our international coastal cleanup. So we recognize that we have the Pacific Gyre, we have these massive problems in the ocean, and first thing I feel is one of the greatest environmental tragedies that's happening when you see some of these autopsies of birds and marine mammals, and their bellies are just completely full of pieces of plastic straws and bottle caps and small pieces of plastic bag that have just slowly disintegrated in the water through the UV degradation of the plastic bag. But these things have impacts, and we're starting to realize that if we can show those impacts and those negative events to local governments, we start to see change. We see things like in China or in San Francisco where they ban the plastic bags because they realize when these things wash up on our shores, this decreases property values, this decreases tourism, this costs us more money with being able to clean these things up, which puts a burden on local government and their tax payroll. So as we can start to show them, we see this change, and that's where our organization is at. It's not only the ocean and making it a more beautiful place, it's understanding and getting people to see that these changes are positive. And like I said, I went through many coastal cleanups. I worked, the way Ocean Conservancy works with our international coastal cleanup is we have zone captains, and we kind of work with other organizations. And I just have to say hats off to Tampa Bay Watch, because they've been one of our most amazing zone captains for this area. They've been integrated into the ICC for many years, and what they've done is they've helped bring new people in each cycle. You probably noticed that with beach cleanups, people kind of get burned out on them a little bit, but they come through once, they see these things, they experience them, they have that internal knowledge, they have, as you were saying, that literacy now of, wow, these things, when I go get a soda and it has a plastic cap and a plastic straw, I've got to be aware of where this ends up because I've seen where it ends up and I don't like this. And that's where we see the change in these people. They start to make a shift, and that is an incremental path in their lives that they're following along. So ICC, nationally, we've been involved last year with 76 different countries. We had 370,000 people in those countries involved in the program. And much as when you had the World's Ocean Day, you had a huge amount of people that became aware this is a cyclical pattern, and this is where we see the reward of the international coastal cleanup. It's not just cleaning up those beaches, it's instilling that literacy in people, and it's instilling that momentum to get their governments to move forward. And that's where we've kind of taken the next step in our organization, is now we're starting to document everything that is picked up in the coastal cleanup. Every state, we had 40 states that were involved in the coastal cleanup this year. We even had Kentucky that was involved because they're cleaning up inland waterways. But people want to get involved. They want something where they can actually do the action. So when we compile these reports and we give them to Congress, Congress now has a tool to say, we need to fund this. We need to find ways to give local governments money to fund these things. And that takes the next step at the advocacy level of the people who have been involved in these things. Now there's something moving in Congress, and they give that congressional support to the congressmen to be able to move these things forward. So that was probably beyond my 5 minutes, but that's where I wanted to kind of share where we're going with marine pollution and trying to help solve this endemic problem.
Well, thank you very much, TJ. We know of the record that we